But one of the reasons that I do the certifications is not just because it helps further my career, it's also so that I can stay in the know about all of the changes that are happening in privacy. Hello and welcome back to Privacy Professional Training. Today's video, we're going to be looking at whether or not certification is enough to launch your privacy career. So I wanted to make this video today to talk about different considerations that you should make before deciding to take the privacy certification, and also what type of impact it might have in furthering your career. So without further ado, the first consideration I want you to have is industry. Now, there are different facets in the United States associated with privacy. If you've been around for any length of time, you know that privacy is fragmented in the US, meaning that it really does depend on a number of different factors. One, there's privacy laws on the federal level. Two, there are privacy laws on the state level, like the CCPA. Three, you've got the sector-specific privacy laws like HIPAA and the FCRA for both the healthcare and financial institutions, respectively. So industry really matters. If you are already coming from any of these specific backgrounds, let's say, for example, you've worked for the government in a compliance role, then having the certification could assist you with launching your privacy career because you're already very well versed in that industry. Same with the healthcare industry. So if you've already come from a healthcare background and you've been doing compliance, maybe it wasn't privacy compliance, but you've been working in some capacity in that healthcare space, then having the privacy certification for the United States could help you with launching your privacy career. Another consideration that I want us to discuss are soft skills. Now, everybody thinks that you need to have a legal background or you need to be a lawyer to get into privacy, but there are many people that I personally have worked with who are not lawyers and do not come from a legal background, but do work in privacy and have done very well for themselves in the industry. Now, if you are very good with networking, you should definitely consider attending a IAPP event. You can become a member of the International Association of Privacy Professionals because it's a really good opportunity for you to network with other individuals in the privacy space, and it could definitely go a long way in expanding your network into launching your privacy career forward. In addition to that, I want to talk about visibility. Now, if you've been around for any length of time, you know that social media is growing and expanding. And I think it's really important for privacy professionals in order to launch their career to be active in different social media forums. Now, that may be that you are joining a Facebook group. That may be that you're providing opinions on things that are happening in the privacy space. But really and truthfully, engaging in the community and gaining that visibility on social media and otherwise is really going to give your career a boost. And it's definitely a consideration you should make before joining the privacy sphere. Another consideration about whether certification is going to help launch your career is that continued education is necessary. So as you've seen on my channel, I talk about the fact that I am constantly doing certifications. I generally try to do one privacy certification on an annual basis. But one of the reasons that I do the certifications is not just because it helps further my career, it's also so that I can stay in the know about all of the changes that are happening in privacy. Now, I mentioned this in a different video, but since 2018, 21 US states have enacted their own state-specific privacy legislation, protecting the rights of their residents. So in just 7 years, 21 states, almost half the states in the United States, have enacted privacy legislation that has obligations on companies that they need to adhere to. So in order for you to be able to keep up the pace with how privacy legislation is getting enacted, you need to make sure that you are continually learning, whether that's through certification or that's through membership with the IAPP. You can also use Google to look up different recommendations that attorney generals are making, because they do make them. You can take a look at the opinions coming out of the California regulatory body, the CPPA, that provides opinions on how companies can comply with the California Consumer Privacy Act. So make sure that you're always keeping up to date with your knowledge, and there's lots of different ways that you can do that. And not all of them require you to have some type of subscription. There's a lot of opinions that you can access online. There's a lot of free forums and articles of other professionals in the privacy space providing opinions about where the privacy laws are going in 2026. Now, another consideration when launching your career in privacy and thinking about certification is that employers are looking at business value, right? When we talk about business value, we're talking about the obligations that a company must adhere to and the risk associated with non-compliance. When you think about the privacy laws and you look at the enforcement actions that have come out of the United States so far, whether those are enforcement actions by the Federal Trade Commission or by other regulatory bodies, you can see that businesses are very intent on making sure that they protect the company at all cost. And in 2025, privacy is a big topic that's on the mind of not only consumers, but on businesses too. In a couple months ago, the CPPA, which is the regulatory body in California, issued its largest fine to date against a company called Healthline.com. And so a lot of businesses were interacting and sharing the insights related to this regulatory action. The more and more that privacy becomes more on the top of minds of businesses, the more they're going to see the need to hire and retain privacy consultants and privacy professionals to ensure that the business continues to create value and to encourage trust among consumers. So I really hope this gave you some considerations about whether or not certification is necessary for launching your career. And if you have any questions about this video, leave a comment below. I will definitely respond, and I'll see you in another video.